Welcome to 13 minutes of news in 13 minutes or less. Okay, everybody, before I jump in here, real quick, some shout outs, real quick ones. Moves Financial, guys, check it out. Worth checking out. You're in the gig economy, check it out. Movesfinancial.com. Moves. Solo, with Solo. You guys come on the Sunday podcast and ask me about moves in Solo. And also come on the podcast and ask Gary himself about Gary'sApps.com, which is the other one I wanted to shout out. So Sunday Fun Day, we're always willing to talk about that kind of stuff. In fact, I think there's a talk needed about some of the solo stuff. So in a positive way, I think some people are a little confused by the solo stuff. So I want to help with that. So if you are interested, let's chat about it tomorrow. So this week, I have the third Para Roundtable that I'm hosting. I am the moderator for a series we are doing. We are 2 episodes in, and this will be the third. They premiere at 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays weekly on the Para channel. Para Gig Smarter. Check it out. Also, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Hannibal Is Hungry. The third episode of Beyond the Algorithm, a project Hannibal and I are doing where we're talking about gigs that are not probably in your arsenal right now. Apps, even some of them are apps that you don't have in your arsenal right now that pay more, aren't as oversaturated. And we even have websites where you can go to once you feel comfortable enough. Or if you have questions, please feel free to ask us because there's a lot of stuff. This week we are doing some work from home gigs. So might be a lot of part-time stuff, but this is the benefit of being an independent contractor. You can still do gig work, but there's also ways to earn from home. And let's see what niche y'all fall into. See us over in Hannibal's channel Tuesday at 9 Eastern. And then every week, Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, is Coffee in Colorado with the Driven Dad and the Driven Mom. You guys, if you haven't gone over and subbed to Tony's channel, let's do that, because if you know the Driven Dad, he's awesome and a good guy, and he's so close. We're right there, guys. He's like he's in the final stretch. So he's been working his tail off for it. He deserves it. Let's help him out. At least check if you are subbed. Most of you probably want to be subbed. Maybe go check, make sure you are subbed. Let's do that. But anyway, that's just a suggestion. I will jump into the news now. And sorry, I just needed to hit on that a little bit. But so last week we talked about the Uber Eats Neuro stepping it up from the trash can to this SUV looking thing. Okay, the SUV looking thing is going to be in Mountain View and Houston. And I don't really see how it compartmentalizes, how it works, how you will receive your food, any of that yet. I just know that they're trying a much larger portion. Now, some of you may have seen the news. Well, I've been through this a few times now with people. And oddly, nobody has noticed what I've noticed out of the gate. So if you haven't heard me already talk about this, I want to see, if you wouldn't mind, leave your comments below and tell me what you see the biggest problem about what I'm about to tell you is. Because I saw something that, until I say it to people, they're like, oh, I didn't even think of that. So, but it was like the first thing I thought of. Anyway, let me tell you the story, and I guess maybe, and I won't tell you any of those thoughts. So a self-driving robot, food delivery robot, did not take kindly to the yellow caution tape surrounding a crime scene in Los Angeles. This was on Wednesday, the 13th, as it plowed through the area, according to a video shared on Twitter Tuesday. William Good is the owner of Film the Police LA, a watchdog Twitter group documenting police activity in the Los Angeles area. Good was on the perimeter of the suspected shooting at Hollywood High School at approximately 10 a.m. Pacific time when he saw a food delivery robot rolling down the sidewalk, approaching the yellow caution tape that separated the crime scene. Okay, so now the robot comes comes up to the caution tape, but it's also at a pole. It kind of gets stuck. A cameraman picks up the robot, moves it to the side, thinking it can recalibrate. I don't know what he's thinking. I can't speak for that, but I've worked a lot of production, so here's all I can think of is that he was picking it up to move it to get either because that was his spot or because he was also realizing it was stuck and he was just moving it to see if it could recalibrate like it should. Unfortunately, when he moved it, still behind the tape, the robot decided to cross into the tape. So at this time, you have to realize this wasn't just one LA police officer or two and a bunch on their way that were on the scene. Everything, the whole perimeter had been squared off. Bomb squad, SWAT, Los Angeles Police Department in full force, and the parents of the children inside the school had already arrived, and they were all behind the barrier. Well, the Uber Eats robot, after it went underneath the caution tape, and it rolled right through the crime scene, and right past the SWAT, right past the bomb squad, police, all past the parents, and the whole thing's videoed. I mean, I don't know. I'll leave it there because normally I would kind of tell you the finale to the story, but I want to see what you guys got at this point. Do any of you see, what do you see right now in this story is the biggest problem? Leave the comments. I will answer every comment. And that way that you'll get the end of the story. But leave your comments and let me know what you think the biggest problem at this point is. Okay. You know, is it the autonomous? Is it, you know, or is it, you know, anything at all that happened in what I just explained? So it doesn't even have to be based around autonomous or anything. So just let's leave it at that and see what happens. I would love to see your guys' answers, to be honest. Okay. So now we have Uber's electric cars, or Uber is using premium EVs, Teslas, Polestars, and Ford Mustang Mach-E's in 25 cities in North America. Remember when it was just a few? And I know there's like Driven Dad Tony. He rents from an independent company than like the rental programs that do Tesla. But now available in 25 cities are these Uber cars to be used. And that's for the markets Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Boston, Baltimore, Charlotte, Chicago, Connecticut, Dallas, Denver, Houston, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, New Jersey, New York City suburbs, Philadelphia, Portland, Sacramento, San Antonio, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, St. Louis, Vancouver, Canada, and Washington, D.C. If you live in any of these places and you are looking to rent a vehicle from Uber, or you are looking to upgrade it to a Tesla, it is now possible. Will they be available? Who knows? Depends where you are. But I do know that, you know, I, for myself, was on the rental program for a short time, not with Teslas, but in 2007, when my RAV4 was totaled, I was on it for even longer than I wanted to be. I thought, you know, it kind of stopped me from going out and searching for a car because I didn't mind it so bad. But it was a much different program. We can talk about that any Sunday if you want to. There was a way to basically, just by the amount of rides, get the car for free every week. So it really was. But anyway, what I do know is that all it takes is just sometimes standing there for an hour and a car gets returned. You never know. So anyway, yeah, and if you live in those cities, if you're interested in doing the EV program, they have a thing called Uber Comfort Electric. It does pay the drivers more, and you're not burning gas. You're obviously, I don't know how they're working the charging stations, but you're getting it does say for each ride you're getting an extra $1, just like they were doing with Uber Green. So, you know, maybe that can go towards charging. I don't know how they might be included. I don't know. Like with Tony's commercial insurance charging, I think all that kind of stuff's included. So, okay. This is, well, before I even jump in here, wait. Guys, what is this? This is Uberlyftdrivers.com. This is where all of this news comes from. Now, some of it is recirculated through Uberlyftdrivers.com from other websites you might not find things. So sometimes I have an article like this. Can algorithms be fair? Uber robot crashes, crime scene, and then it was something else. I can't read it all right here. And then in there, I have like 8 to 10 articles that I found very important that day that link directly to the articles. So you don't have to do any searching. Everything's on here. It's not rideshare. It's all gigs. I mean, it is rideshare, but it's all gigs, off-brand gigs, everything. So if you ever want to just check out some information, just go to uberlyftdrivers.com. You can even get, I'm not real happy with the way it looks, because you can find it on Spotify and every other pod player as well. But you can even listen and download every episode of the podcast from the beginning from this site just by clicking podcasts. The interface isn't the prettiest, but it works. So, and I am working on it to integrate a sub site. So, can the algorithms that ride, hail, and delivery startups use be fair? It's a TechCrunch article. It's pretty. Can they be fair? What's our initial answer? Of course not. But is it clickbait? No, because I see this. I know TechCrunch isn't going to clickbait me and then talk about potatoes. They're going to talk about this. So I'm interested to see what they're talking about and can it be fair? And here's what they did. So there was a group that took advantage of a Chicago law that required ride-hailing apps to disclose their prices. So researchers from George Washington University published an analysis of the algorithms using the rideshare startups Uber and Lyft to set fares. So it spotlighted evidence that the algorithm charged riders living in buildings with older, lower income, and less educated populations more than those who hailed from affluent areas. In effect, the researchers pegged on the high popularity of, and thus the high demand for ride sharing in nicer neighborhoods. So because the nicer neighborhoods were requesting more vehicles, they were charging them less. And they're saying that they were charging poorer areas more. Not cool. Not cool. And that's 13 minutes of news in just under 13 minutes. Peace!